hello in sign language.
Hello in sign language.
And
Good.
oh, okay, good. And then night, was it?
Night.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, good night. Amanda's been teaching me sign language, so
Is that what you do it?
Good night. Good.
night.
This one's amen. That's what you're thinking. Amen.
Oh, amen. Okay.
Yeah. How are you guys doing? I missed
Mm.
the other part, sorry.
Yeah, it's good having Sean back.
Yeah, I saw him.
The other
Yeah.
shepherd, and then
Awesome.
yeah,
What are we gonna do now, Mark?
yep. Mark chapter 5, 14 to 20. So we'll keep studying for probably 15 to 30 minutes, and then we'll switch over to the sermon review.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
One, I don't know, application is just to see the hardness of people. I mean, it was obviously a miracle, and it was a miracle of mercy, but the people were, their hearts were hardened and they just wanted to get out of there. It was kind of upsetting their apple cart. I guess that's maybe a warning that even though the gospel is good news, people won't necessarily be eager to receive it.
Like someone mentioned last Friday, this is the parable of the soils being lived out.
I think if, you know, going back to the application, like verse 19, right? Um, he wanted to follow the demoniac wanted to follow the Lord, but the Lord had other plans. And, in our context, it's not always easy to have what is the Lord's will for our lives, right? But like there's some basic things like, you can't just serve God any way you want. And like there's a lot of people who try to serve God on their own terms. You got like women pastors or this or that. And when like the Bible clearly states like, we're supposed to do certain things and not do certain things.
Mm.
Like, like there's such a thing as maybe an unhonorable sacrifice, or like even, you know, I think what was it in one of the sermons like that was preached at Grace, like, like you can't who was the one that touched the ark? Like he thought he was doing a good thing, right? But
Yeah,
he took his life, right? So like
yeah.
even if you have like good intentions, you just can't serve the Lord any way you desire. But I don't know, just something to think about, like what does that look like for our lives, and making sure that as much as possible have wisdom and discernment, but be as biblical as possible as we seek to follow the Lord and what he has for us.
Yeah, it's very clear, right? If the man's wanted to go with Jesus and Jesus did not let him, and the man kept persisting, then that would actually be a bad thing. So, yeah.
Mm. So, I mean, it does seem like when Jesus told him, that he couldn't have kind of his first choice of ministry, that he eagerly pursued what Jesus told him to do. He didn't go and solve, Jesus wanted him to preach in the area, so he preached in the area.
Mm.
It sounds like he was quite enthusiastic.
You wonder, how does a man, yeah, like how would that be better for a person? To not be with Jesus right now, but to go and to do his work. Uh, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. It'd be like I have one more year in seminary, and they told me like, no, don't stay at Grace Church. Don't finish seminary. Just go, and there's a church that called you to be a pastor. Just go be a pastor. And it sounds like a really bad idea, but if it's Jesus telling you, it's like, oh, okay, then he knows it's good for you.
Mm.
And if it's, I guess, if Grace Church elders somehow said, yeah, and they do for older men in seminary, sometimes they don't finish seminary. The elders say, hey, there's a church already calling you. You got so much life experience, ministry experience that you should just go and either finish seminary online or maybe not finish at all. There's so many churches that have a need out there. That's amazing, though. Just in the short, whatever hour, couple hours this man had spent with Jesus, that was enough for him to go and tell others about him. So, what does that show? I guess sometimes we feel inadequate to go and share the gospel or to go disciple someone else, when if you're a Christian, then there's someone out there who knows less than you do. We could go and disciple them even now. We could go tell the gospel even now.
Do you think the demon possessed man was probably pretty well known in the region? You know, like I don't know
Hmm.
how big the town was, but if he or how long he was demon possessed, but
Mm.
probably I don't know. Maybe it's reasonable to assume that he would have been pretty fairly well known. And
Yeah.
yeah, to see just like his own just like the fact that he from what he was being demon possessed to being clear of mind and
Hmm.
it's undeniable. He can't really, that's a testimony in itself. And just the bit of him being able to speak, clearly of mind and give praise to the Lord, like and give him the glory, you know,
Hmm.
what amazing testimony that is.
Go home to your people. So if anything, his family would have recognized him.
Yeah. Right.
And people tried to chain him up many times, so they probably would have known about that too.
Yeah. Right.
Know a man who could break chains of iron? That no normal human could do that.
It's interesting that part of his message was that the Lord had mercy on him. The message was about the Lord's mercy. It's part of
Hmm.
it.
You said Lord had mercy on him?
Well, Jesus told him to go, that the Lord, well, what the Lord had done, and that He had mercy on him. In verse
Hmm.
19. So, yeah, the message was about God's mercy.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder, like, like what is, I mean, we'll never know. Like, he speculates. I don't know if it's profitable or not, but just the fact that he was a demon possessed man, if he lived like maybe like a sinful life, that led him to be possessed in such a way. And, he
Hmm.
easily could have how much that must have been tormenting to be, possessed by a demon and
Hmm.
wouldn't wish that on anybody. And yeah, like the fact that the Lord had mercy on him and, having peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of soul,
Hmm.
he can really, it's like, can't put a price on that.
Hmm. Yeah, I was thinking along the same lines as you too. So there, yeah, it's not sure. Was this man like a great sinner? That's why he was demon possessed. Then it makes me think of the young boy that was demon possessed. Uh, yeah,
Yeah. Or, I
not sure.
mean, it could have just been like, yeah, John 9, the man born blind, where Jesus said, either this man or his parents sinned, but that the power of God might be manifest.
Yeah, it doesn't really tell us.
Yeah.
But one thing's for certain, yeah, the demons possess unbelievers. So that'd be a scary thought to think about that you could be possessed whether you want to or not. And think about this. Jesus said, go back to your hometown, but Jesus didn't say stay here in the region. So it makes me think that the demoniac, he was actually a stranger to the region. And it's almost like the homeless lady that we met last Tuesday. She was from a different state. I think New Hampshire. Or is that a city? Yeah, just about think about a homeless person who came from so far away to California, and it's like us, where they're in our region, they're in our city, but we just don't know and we don't care about them. So that's what the countryside, they knew he was there, but they just kind of let him be. They didn't care about him. Even when he was healed, they didn't care.
Yeah. Right.
That this is a great judgment on this city. Jesus telling the one guy, besides him, who could share the God's mercy, to not stay in this region. Very good. Any other observations on this passage?
So mercy, I'm just trying to make sure I got it right. So mercy and grace, like mercy is not giving you what you do deserve, and grace is giving you what you don't deserve. Is that right? Or something along?
Yeah.
Yes.
So like mercy. So he was given mercy, like he was not given what he did deserve. So it's like, does that mean like he deserved to be tormented, or like I was like kind of like I don't know. Like what is it that he get? What is it that he? How was he merciful? In what way did he not give him what he deserved? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, in mercy in that He relieved his sufferings, apparently sufferings from being possessed by a demon. Well, I mean, if he was cutting himself and crying out. Obviously, he was being tormented by the demon.
And everyone deserves that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's a good question. What mercy did God show? And does that mean God didn't show him grace, or is this like a word that could also mean both? Because he definitely gave him grace, casting the demon out and giving the man saving faith.
Mm.
Mercy would have just been casting out the demon, but grace is even sending him out to proclaim his name. Huh. Yeah, that's a good question. We'll look into that. What great things the Lord has done for you. Even though this man didn't know Jesus for 24 hours, it was enough to know what great things the Lord has done for you. That's powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know if this was mentioned already, but you can see the contrast in reaction. Those people there in Gadara, they were afraid.
Mhm.
And then the people in Decapolis, his friends in his region, they all marveled when he told them about what the Lord has done and the compassion that he had for him.
Yeah.
Mm.
We know from other passages that doesn't mean they were saved, but yes, they had a different reaction than the Gerasene.
Hmm.
Do you see the Decapolis on your map?
Let's see.
Just, what is that? We're marveling. Actually, I have my MacArthur Study Bible too.
Not that I see.
A league of 10 Greek influenced Hellenized cities east of the Jordan River.
East of the Jordan.
So let's see what these cities were naturally Gentile strongholds. Okay. So they're a mainly Gentile region.
Mhm.
That might answer the question, is this man a Jew or a Gentile? Again, the Gerasenes was if I remember right, it's like half Jew, half Gentile, or maybe it's more like secular Jews. So that's even a greater judgment on them that they didn't care about this one Gentile who was a stranger in their area. That's something to think about.
Mm.
Yeah. But would Jesus have sent someone to Gentile areas before his mission was complete to the Jews? But also, verse 20 doesn't have a time limit on it, so it could be describing just what happened after a period of time. This wasn't just right away the next day.
Mm.
It probably took him time to get back home and again to get situated. But then the woman at the well told her whole town in one day. So
Mm.
yeah, it's hard to say. The Decapolis is 10 cities, so it's not even just one city, it's 10 cities.
Mm. Yeah.
Deca, that's in Greek, that's 10.
Mm. Yeah.
I know kind of weird jumping in the middle of this study, so
Mm.
well, I think we'll stop here for now, at least in Mark. And you guys, if you are able on Thursday to join